Geometry Lesson 1, Section 2.5 and 2.6, pages 135 and 154. And we're going over read, write, round, and order, decimals, and also change decimals to fractions. Okay, and to start with, we know that if we had a fraction, such as 2 over 10, and we were to use long division, oops, actually 10 would be out here, 10 is our divisor, 2 is our dividend, and what we would have to do is we can't divide 10 into 2. But what we can do is put a decimal point after it. Well, wherever we put a decimal point for division, we have to put a decimal point up in a quotient, right? Now after the decimal point, we can add zeros from here to forever, and it's still just 2. Well, we just need 1 0. And we know that 10 divided by 2.0, if we looked at 10 divided by 20, we know that's 2. So 10 divided by 2.0, that's 2. And then if we multiply 0.2 times 10, we get 2.0. Well, the same thing, so what we get here is 0.2. So if we have a decimal such as 0.2, we know that's the same thing as 2 over 10. Okay? So we're going basically back the other way. So a way you can remember this is if you have a number and then you see where that first decimal place is at, well, that's, you know, that's how many zeros you need after the 1. And from there, you simplify, right? Which would be what? Well, 2 goes into 10, yeah. 5, 2 goes into itself 1, so that would be 1/5. Alright, and that's our answer. Okay, any questions with that? Alright, so if we were to have a number such as 0.64, and we wanted to write the decimal as a fraction, we want to write this decimal
64 over 100.
Yeah.
right.
Wouldn't be a 0 place in that.
What's that?
Wouldn't like be a 0 anywhere because it's behind the decimal point, right? So it's like 10s, 100s, right?
Well, because you've got 2 places, right, after the decimal point, you need 2 zeros, right, for after the 1. So this would be like saying 64 over 100. But we need to go ahead and simplify that. Okay? Well, 64, we know that they're both even, right? And they're kind of high numbers. So let's say that 4 divides into 64. Well, 4 divides into 64 how many times? Well, let's see, 64, right? Divided by 4. It's 16, right. So 4 goes into 64 16 times, 4 goes into 100, 25, right? So we can say that this answer is simplified to 16 over 25. Okay?
Oh, how do you do that?
You can do it a couple of ways. One of the ways I showed you before was you can just divide 2. Well, 2, here's 64 over 100 again, right? You know they're both even. So if anything else fails, you can just divide by 2. So if we have 2 times 32, right, over 2 times 50, you know that the 2's can cancel, right? And let's see, they're both even again. So you can divide 2 again, right? Yeah. 2 can go into 32, that's 16. 2 goes into 50, that's 25.
Curious, what did you like put in like the first one?
First time I divided 4. Because they're both high, I thought, well, maybe something higher than 2 could divide into it. Maybe 4 can. And so, you know, I just used long division. So 4 divides into 6, that's 1, right? And then 6 times 4 is 24, right?
Yeah.
So you get 16. And then 4 divides into 100, that's a little bit easier, that's 25. Okay? So either one of them is, either method is fine to simplify, but you have to simplify it, okay? Alright, well what if we have 0.08, and if you use 0.08 or just 0.08, the number is the same. Okay, I like to put a 0 in front of it because sometimes this decimal is kind of small, and with a 0.08, sometimes, or if like it was just point, like above here, we had 0.2. You know, it's easy to miss that decimal, and somebody could just see it as a 2 instead of 0.2. So with a 0 in front, you know, you can't miss the decimal point. It's a little bit harder to miss the decimal point then. So now we're going to have A over 100, right? So now we want to simplify that again, right? Well, what can go into both? 4, right. 4 goes into A 2 times, 4 goes into 125, and we get 2 over 25.